I'm Dan Galusha and welcome to another edition of Shootin' Plink. Today we're going to be firing for the first time. This gun has never been fired. I just got it. It's a Ruger LCR22. It's already loaded, so I'm not going to do a lot of messing around with it. I will show you this, that right here is your release for your cylinder. As you can see, it is loaded. I've got 8 rounds, that's right. It holds 8 rounds. It's very easy to load, and you have your ejection once you're ready to unload. There is no safety to this, and it has a very hard, heavy I should say, trigger pull. And I know revolvers do, and that is the safety feature of this, because there is no safety, so that is your safety. But it is very hard to pull. Now the one thing I want to show you, I'll get over here since it's loaded. You can probably see that sight. That is a very nice front sight. I really like that white. I'm sure it's going to work pretty good. It's only got a 1.86 inch barrel. It's just under 2 inches, so you're not going to get a lot of distance with this. What sort of a gun is this? Well, actually it's put up for self-defense. And as they always say, 22 is better than a stick. And if you use the right ammunition, and these days 22 ammunition has improved a lot, and there's a lot of high-powered stuff out there. What we're going to be shooting is a little bit lower powered, because you can do that in a revolver. It's an Aguila, and I'm using the 1129, I think it is, FPS, so it's a little bit lower. Don't really need that much right here now. And I'm going to fire it from 3 different distances, 5, 7, and 10 yards. That is because that's usually your qualification steps, and we're just going to see what that does at those. I presume that it's going to do best at 5. 10 it's probably going to get a little iffy on, especially with my eyesight, because if everybody that watches my videos knows I'm always having problems because I never remember the right glasses, and so I need to wear computer glasses. I really do. My eyesight's just kind of weird. It's actually improving. I do better without my glasses than with them, but and as you'll know, as like I said, those of you that follow me know what I have problems with in eyesight, and sometimes my shooting is terrible. But we're going to see how terrible it is with this thing. Like I said, the first time that I've ever fired a round, so we're going to get it zoomed in on the target up there. It's a regular pistol target, and then we're going to see what happens. Well, you've seen it as I shot. I'm quite satisfied. I mean, like I said, this is the first 24 rounds. I had to stop and think. I was going to say 30, but 24 rounds, because this does shoot 8 rounds, and that's the first 24 that's ever been fired since I had it, since it left the factory, because they always fire a round usually in the factory to test them out. And as you can see, I did have some flyers up here, and you've seen it as it was happening, but the majority of them is in this 4-inch pistol bullseye. And like I said, that was at 5, 7, and 10 yards with that little bitty old short nose, and I'd say that did pretty doggone good. You know, I'm not unhappy with that whatsoever, because being the first time, hey, that's great. And while we're at it, I'll show you here. This is how you take it out. For those of you who don't know, everybody that's ever used a revolver knows that if it's a swing out like that, that you just hit this little plunger and out they come. and there's your rounds. That's my last spent rounds that I did. So, and it just pops in like that. Don't ever take the thing and flip it back and forth. You know, you see these guys where they flip them out real fast and they flip them in. Don't do that. Ruger even tells you don't do that. Snap it in like that. One of the things, like I said, I talked about that trigger pull. Now, that is pretty heavy, but it wasn't too bad when I was shooting with it. And one of the reasons is right down here, you can see that screw on the bottom. Okay, if you take that screw off, you can remove this grip. Inside of there is the spring for the hammer. This does have a hammer, it's just all concealed into here. That's so that it makes it easier for concealment too, because you can have it, you pull out fast. Say if it's like a woman with a purse, then this is ideal for them. They're not going to have to worry about this getting caught. They can pull it out very smoothly. Same way if you got it in your pocket or that sort of thing. Or for people that are disabled, that are in a wheelchair, a lot of times they say a 22 is better for them because they usually have something wrong that they're having to hold on, and any sort of a heavier recoil is going to be a problem. This one is actually ideal. It's going to give them 8 rounds. If they're a good enough shot and at close range, they're going to do some damage. And as they said, the bad guy, if he's smart, he's not going to stand around and say, what are you going to shoot me with? He sees that gun, he's going to go the other way, because nobody wants to be shot. I don't care if it is a 22. They've actually used 22s for assassination in some countries. And they are lethal. Anything is lethal. I've heard of a homicide even with a pellet gun. And with some of these new pellet guns, it would not all surprise me. I mean, when you're getting up to a 50 caliber pellet gun, but that's air guns, and I do those separate. As far as this one, you know, when I first looked at it, and I had this trigger pull, it was just like, son of a gun. Because it is heavier than other revolvers I've had. I thought, I don't know about this. The accuracy is going to be off, whatever. I wouldn't say it was all that bad. And at 5 yards, I know I was hitting them pretty good with the 8 rounds. I think that's probably when I put most of those in the center, which, again, you've probably seen I couldn't. I did not use my prescription glasses. But, like I said, when I first pulled that trigger, I was taking off points. Because I thought, man, I'll give this thing maybe a 3 at the best, because I really like this. I like the loading. Everything else about it, the weight is perfect. It's very, very nice weight. There's no doubt about that. Very, very lightweight. And yet it's still got enough heft to it that you can hold it onto the target. One reason being is it's got such a short barrel. So what am I going to give it for a rating between 1 and 5 stars? I'll go with 4. And the reason that I went with 4 is because of the trigger pull. Otherwise, she's a pretty doggone good looking little gun, and it also shoots pretty doggone good, I'd say. The more I shoot with it, and I've got somebody that, a lady that is kind of special, and I'm going to teach her how to shoot with this thing, and hopefully she'll be able to pull that trigger, and I think that it's going to work out pretty good. Like I said, this is a close range. I don't know. We may bring it back someday and shoot for some long distance stuff and see what happens. I wouldn't count on it being that great, I'll tell you that, but as far as close, yeah, great. So again, a 4-star rating for the Ruger LCR22. And until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.